Hey, it's basically books, and I'm here for a review. This review was requested by the author, as all the books I've read by her was, but oh, I love her books. So this one is a contemporary romance, I think, and now I hope, because now I'm telling everyone else that it's a contemporary romance. It's not. I don't read a lot of contemporary romances, but I really want to, so if you can suggest any more contemporary romances, just leave it in the comments. So this is The Nature of Cruelty by L.H.Cosway. There's a lot to say what was really good about this book. I just don't know how to say it all without spoiling things in the book. First off, there's like 6 things that made me want to read it, so I guess I can start with that. One of the things was the title, The Nature of Cruelty. Anyone who doesn't want to read a book named The Nature of Cruelty has a lot to be desired for. Just kidding. But in my opinion, The Nature of Cruelty sounds like it's going to be a good book. Another thing is a tagline. There's an actual I love taglines. If anyone notices, well, whenever there's a tagline, I read it out, because taglines it's really important to me, and it helps with knowing what the book's going to be like about. So this tagline is: "Cruelty is a cycle. Once inflicted, it spreads." Something else that makes me want to read it. So it just gets better and better. The next bit is the description, which I will gladly read out once I get it on Goodreads. So yeah. Right, so here it is. A standalone contemporary romance novel, woo, I was right, about love, hate, cruelty and forgiveness. Her name is Lana. She wasn't dealt the easiest cards in life. She wasn't dealt the hardest. She has an illness, but she doesn't let it rule her. The first time she laid eyes on her best friend's twin brother, she fell in love at first sight. It didn't last very long. He was a hateful boy who made her miserable. The happiest day of her life was when he moved away to London 6 years ago. His name is Robert, who breaks the ones who love him. He always liked to play games with Lana, see how far he could push her. He once thrived on her pain, but no more. Now she's come to London to live with his sister for the summer, and this time he plans on being her friend instead of her tormentor. But Lana is scarred by his past bullying. She doesn't trust him, nor does she have any reason to. When the two find themselves living under the same roof, they call a truce. This summer will change both of their lives, as they put their history aside and learn one another from scratch. When fear takes over, we'll use cruelty as a mask. Robert and Lana's story will see their masks slip away as the love they felt on the inside shows its true face. And as it says on Goodreads, it is not suitable for young readers. It contains strong language and scenes of sexual nature. So if you're not like 18 or something, or you're not gonna read adult books, then this book is not for you, unfortunately. That was the third thing I liked about it, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the third thing I liked about it. No, that's the third thing I liked about, which I lost my mind. It's what wanted me to read it. The fourth thing is the actual cover. The cover is very interesting. It's got, well, now I read the description, you can kind of make it, sorry about that. You can make sense of the cover because of the title. There's the main girl and there's the main boy. You can work it out, and it just makes you want to read it. And the colours is so bold. And then there's blue, black, white, and red. And I think that's basically the only colours on the cover, which is kind of interesting. When there's set colours, it makes the book a lot interesting, in my opinion. Okay, the fifth thing is, it's by L.H.Cosway, and I just love her books. So anything she writes, I will read, because she's got I mean, I rated all her books 5 stars apart from one novella because I haven't read it yet because I keep getting distracted. So I keep not wanting to read it, but I do want to read it. And I just love her books. The last reason why I want to read it was because I got asked to. I got asked to do an honest review for her, so I did, because I'm not mean, and I do that. Yes, I get loads and loads of requests to do reviews, and I normally ignore them all. Because if they don't stand out, if it's not something that I feel like I will be willing to put aside time to read, I will not read. But now I know that she's a good writer, I'm always gonna put aside time for her. So that's a compliment and a half. Okay, back to after reading it. I love this book, and she's did it again. She's made me want more and more after more and more. So yes, it's another 5-star, and it was amazing. The characters, the way they develop through the whole book is so interesting. I love how it's set in Ireland and it's also set in London. It's set in two places. Two places where, well, I haven't really been to Ireland, and London I've rarely been, so it's kind of interesting to, you know. But it's interesting because normally the most books I read is in the United States, but this one it's set in the UK, and obviously I live in the UK, so it's definitely interesting. What else? Well, the storyline for Is a Giver is clearly a really good storyline. I loved it, and it was so interesting. I don't think I've read anything like this. I mean, I've read contemporary ones before, even not a lot, but I have. But I don't think I've read anything like this. The way it's set out and the way it is, like about a guy who basically hated on a girl, but for a reason for a reason that I wouldn't expect. But then I guess everyone always says hate and love is a close thing. You can easily skip past the hate and love, or skip past the love and hate, because that's how people fall out, because love and hate is so closely put together. It's easy read. All the books are easy read. You don't have to have a brainy mind to get past it all. It's easily set out, and I hate yawning when I'm doing videos, but for some reason I only yawn when I want to not yawn, so sorry about that. I can't really know what else to say apart from that it's an amazing book, and if man, I don't know what else to say, and I wanted to go on and on and on. It's the best. There's nothing wrong with this book in my opinion, but obviously more people who read it, they will see faults. But I mean, I read this before the release date, okay, so I had no one bitching about anything what was bad about it, so I went in with a clear mind and clear thought, and I was just like, this is going to be amazing, all her other ones are. I just liked it, and I'm not lying because I got this free, and I'm not lying because I know the author now, because, well, we just know each other. But, no, I'm not lying, I really love this book, I liked all the other books. She might not be everyone's cup of tea, but she's definitely my cup of tea, and I love her. You know, when you just, there's some people who you just love, even though you really, like, it's kind of weird, especially when they're girls, but, yeah, whatever. That's all I can really say. I'll post links down below to the Goodreads page, and the Amazon, and sorry, and people who can't read this because of the adult content, I will post her other 2 series, the first book of the series down below, which you can definitely read, and I will post them below because it's not fair that you don't get to read any by her, so I will post them below as well if I have time. And I don't know, that's all I can really say. So I hope that it made sense, this review, and I hope to do more reviews in the near That's what happens when you yawn and sing at the same time. So thank you for listening to me gobbling on, ranting about, well not ranting, but raving about this book, and yawning and singing. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed it, and stick around and subscribe and do all the stuff that YouTube people do. And yeah, that's really all I can think about. So yeah, bye bye.